This video is simply about 8 easy ways to smell fantastic for any occasion throughout the year, but also not smell like everything else out there. And I know there are some folks who might say,
well, a small percentage of people wear fragrances, so even the most common fragrances will make you stand out.
I'm not trying to make fun of you guys,
but it is kind of a cop-out.
That being said, you're not totally wrong. Perhaps. But even though not everyone is wearing fragrances, most people are accustomed to the average cologne or perfume smell. Bottom line, it doesn't take much effort to stand out from the crowd in an attractive way. All 8 of these fragrances have scent profiles that I don't believe are challenging, yet they smell different enough to catch attention. Some of them are going to be a little bit more warm weather geared, some of them more for cooler weather, but most of them I feel like can be worn almost all year round in particular occasions. For instance, if the fragrance is a little bit sweeter, maybe don't wear it in the highest heat during the day, maybe save it for the evening, even in the summertime. We'll talk about it as we go. Let's dive right into it. Our first fragrance up is a flanker, and it is a flanker that actually surprised me. I like this more than I expected to. From Nishane, we have Wulong Cha X, a flanker of the beloved Wulong Cha, which is a citrus tea based fragrance with some musk. A beautiful scent, one that I have and enjoy quite a bit, and I didn't expect to like this almost equally, and I also expected it to be more redundant, but it is kind of its own character, it's its own take. It is a less fresh version, it's a little bit denser. Magnolia flower brings this almost sweet waxy quality that might not sound great, but all in all it just makes it a more full smelling scent. Definitely less airy, less transparent. The citrus is not quite as pronounced, but it is still fresh, it is still kind of mouth watering, and that tea adds a green and soothing quality to the scent. All in all, it's fresh and citrusy, yes, but there's a lot of depth and interest here that makes it not smell like the run-of-the-mill stuff. When someone catches this in the air, people around you will find this pleasant, yes, but also a little bit different. So I'd say it's worth checking out if you haven't already. That is Nishane Wulong Cha X. We have a designer fragrance up, one that does not get much talk at all. This brand is kind of overlooked, and
I'm gonna change that.
I'll do my best. From Brioni, we have Eau de Parfum Eclat, and this is a musky, airy grapefruit fragrance. Now it's more of like the rind than it is the actual fruit. There is a tart quality here. It is a little bit bitter, but it's not necessarily juicy, but it is fresh and bright, very much like this bottle. There's a fresh muskiness that adds to that, and there's a grounding of vetiver, which is a wood, kind of a grassy wood, and in this case it's not too sharp, not too upfront, so that makes it very, very likable, because vetiver can be a little bit off-putting when it is an overdose, but here it's very tame. Gives it a clean, woody, masculine quality, one that can be pulled off really any time of the year, but it is a fresh scent that has class. I would kind of dress this up during the daytime. In the summer, you can spray fairly liberally because it wears a little bit light, so it's just going to smell refreshing and elegant during the daytime. That is Brioni Eau de Parfum Eclat. From Carner, Barcelona. If there's any hate this fragrance gets at all, it's the fact that it's not a beast mode fragrance. And many people lose their minds when a niche fragrance is not beast mode. It blows my mind. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you otherwise, but I will say that if it's not for you, just move on. Save your money. There's no need to complain, because there's somebody out there that likes it. I'm one of those people. This is Rima 11, and this is a gorgeous, fresh, spicy cardamom, almost cinnamon, milky bread like fragrance. It smells kind of delicious while smelling alluring, attractive, super easy to wear. As you guys probably already know, cardamom is a very attractive note. Almost universally, people love eating it, drinking it, and people also love wearing it and smelling it. It just smells sweet, a little bit balsamic, but fresh and spicy. And this one kind of smells almost like a snack, but there's enough other things going on here that it's not completely in that gourmand territory. I think this is going to be one that's perfect for date night, and really any time of the year. This is a great date scent. It's something that's easy to get next to, and because of its alleged terrible performance, it's perfect because it doesn't consume your date in a scent that is objectively pleasant, but you'll actually be able to talk to them throughout the night because they won't be suffocating. You don't need to suffocate people with your scent on dates, so you could spray anywhere from 3 to 5 times with this and it'll last you through the evening. That's all you need it for, a few hours. If you're having 8-hour long dates, let us know down in the comments and let us know what scent you would prefer for that. Nonetheless, that is Rima 11 from Carner, Barcelona. From Goldfield and Banks, we have Ingenious Ginger, one of their newest fragrances, and like the name, this is ginger. It smells like you dumped ginger beer on a vanilla cake. It is delicious. It's bubbly, it's sparkling, it's spicy and uplifting and fresh and just delightful. It puts a smile on your face. It smells like a sunny day, but I think you could wear this day or night. It is what I would consider a fairly casual fragrance, which makes it even more versatile. You could pull it off on a variety of occasions and it's perfectly unisex. So ladies, you can pull this one off too. Most of the dent you're actually seeing is from my wife. I've worn this a couple of times and the rest has been her. This is kind of a daily driver for her from week to week. Let me know if you've checked out Ingenious Ginger. Beautiful ginger fragrance if you're looking for one. Another designer, one of my favorites, I've talked about it for a while now, from the house of Narciso Rodriguez, who I really appreciate for not giving us just generic junk with every new designer release. Bleu Noir Eau de Parfum. And it kind of uses the disguise of a fresh mainstream blue fragrance to actually bring you into something that has a little bit more substance. This is a musk-based scent, which is not everyone's cup of tea. But when you first spray this on a blotter and you smell it, you're gonna be like, oh, this is kind of fresh shower gel-ish. But when you put it on skin and you let it live, it turns into its true self, which is a musk bomb. Warm, sensual, deep musk. But it does have a beautiful face of some kind of citrus that brings a juicy, fresh quality, gives it depth and dimension. But more than that, it's clean and it's sexy. Maybe a touch powdery, but not all that much. Very, very modern smelling, I would say, but still easily masculine and very likable, but a little different. That is Narciso Rodriguez Bleu Noir Eau de Parfum. This has been one of my favorites from Nishane for some time now. It happens to be one of my most worn from the house, and that just goes to show its versatility. This is called B612. This is essentially a very modern fougere. On the surface, yes, it's a clean lavender. You get this kind of creamy sweetness. You get a dry woodiness. All of that comes together to create what you might recognize as the classic fougere DNA. Yes, it's all here. But cypress and cashmeran are what set this fragrance apart. Also the lack of spices. So no real spices here. It is smooth, creamy, fresh, but also has this very dry, almost wool-like woodiness in the base. And this is a fragrance I would say don't overspray it. You spray it on, it may not seem like it's all that strong, but the more you spray, the more the strange quality, that cashmere and cypress combo, starts to come out, and it gets really sharp and weird smelling. But if you just spray like a sensible person, I'd say no more than 5 times with this one. It's gonna smell clean, but very unique as far as a barbershop fragrance goes. Really attractive stuff. That is B612 from Nishane. Let me know if you've tried it, and if not, links down below. This has got to be one of the sexiest, most attractive fragrances that Argos has put out, and it's Danae. This fragrance, gosh, this is kind of an ambery blonde woody fragrance. It's sweet, resinous, and sticky with cistus labdanum. There is kind of an almost creamy sandalwood like woodiness down there. Maybe some spices floating around, but ultimately pretty thick, quite sweet. Not really sweet, but quite sweet in more of an amber wood type of way. Not vanilla, not tonka bean, none of that. It's not like dessert smelling. It's more like sticky resinous smelling. But there's something about the way it hangs in the air that makes it so alluring. This could be worn year round. Definitely not my first pick for a hot summer day, but summer nights, sure. Any other time of the year, definitely. But I would reserve it for the evening. It just seems to smell really attractive for the nighttime. Has a beautiful sillage, not a weak scent at all, will last and will leave a trail if you're looking to do that. So do check out Argos Danae. Use the code FRESH10 at Argos' site to save 10% on any purchase, including their sample set, where you can sample Danae along with the 80 other fragrances they have at this point. Not that many, but they've got a lot. They're adding more and more. Got a lot of variety, so check them out. That's Argos Danae. And the final fragrance, if you guys know me, if you've been here for a while, you know I've been talking about this for some time, and some might say I kind of even put it on the map, at least here in the YouTube community. I'm kind of known for this fragrance. I don't talk about it that much anymore because, you know, life changes. Things are always changing. Tastes are changing. I can't just stick to the same fragrances forever because I'm human like you. We wear different stuff as we experience different stuff. But I have to pay homage to this fragrance, which is still a part of my collection. One of the few fragrances I've had for this long. John Varvatos Vintage, perfumed by Rodrigo Flores Rue. This is a gentleman's masterpiece. I think I literally put that in the thumbnail of my full review of this fragrance. It's such a beautifully composed scent because it's so well blended. For a designer fragrance, there's a lot of things going on in here that just work so well together, so it's hard to dissect the scent, but it does kind of have dark, ambery, leathery fougere qualities. There is a clean feel, almost like a lavender barbershop feel, and even a fruitiness, quince, and a lot of rhubarb, but it has leather, like a suede leather in there, maybe some tobacco, some other darker notes, some spices. It's quite complex, but it doesn't smell complicated. It is a sweet, dark, but clean, gentlemanly fragrance that you can pull off just about any time of the year. Once again, not my go-to for a hot summer day going to the beach or something, but you could wear this in a professional environment during the summer. During the day, that would be just fine, but any other time of the year, it works as a classy, elegant, reserved, slightly understated gentleman's fragrance. Beautifully crafted, perfect the way it is, and I can easily say will always be in my collection because it has been for like 8 years now, and I do need to give it some wear again. It's been a while. Definitely a unique, versatile option that is memorable. This is John Varvatos Vintage. As usual, links to every fragrance I talked about will be down in the description. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoy any of these, and thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.